What's going on, guys? PixCam20 back in with a brand new video. We are here for our Nations Cup race as we are racing around Dragon Trails, the Garden Edition, not Seaside. So no chicane of death, but it does have a really horrific chicane. You guys will know more once you guys get into the video. But ranked number 5 on this race. Feeling very confident. We were only able to use the BMW or the Lexus RC, but you can see that everybody decided to pick the BMW as that was the best car around this racetrack compared to the Lexus. So we're going to see what we can do here. Was able to get some really good times on the time trials, and on practice races we were able to do pretty well, but we're gonna see if we can get a first place, as first place does pay out 207 points, so that can be very beneficial towards us on the standings, as we do need some good points here, as we have not done a lot of Nations Cup races through the season. So before we jump into it, if you guys really enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video. Let's try to hit that like button and get it up to 100 likes for this video. And as Graham Stevens says,
you know the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, then you gotta smash the like button.
Anyways, that is enough promoting myself. Let's jump straight into the video. Jumping into qualifying now. Again, I was feeling very confident about this. I thought that we can get at least a top 5, maybe a top 6. But as we come into our very final flyer lap, our best time so far was only a 139.125. But so far this lap was running really clean, as we were up a lot on our sectors. You can see on sector 1 we were up by 5/10. So let's see what we could do here as we're about to cross the start finish line. Get into the slipstream of the Canadian. As we cross the start finish line, we get a 138.6, and that is good enough for us. Second place, only 3/10 away from the pole position. So a very great qualifying time we were able to pull off here. Let's see if we can capitalize on that and get a win here on this race as we now jump into the intro. So onto the intro here. The strategy for the race, there really wasn't a strategy. We were only given the hard compound tires, and with that the fuel consumption really wasn't that bad, so we can make it through the entire race with a no stop. So it's just going to be basically pushing the car as much as we can and seeing if we can get away from the pack, put in consistent laps, and maybe get a win here as we are now going to jump into the race. Jumping to our race now, we are waiting for the 5 red lights as we get the cinematic intro before the race. A lot different from other races, as we are having a standing start, not a rolling start. So we gotta wait for the 5 red lights, setting our traction control to 1 as we are waiting for the start. And away we go as lights out goes. We shift our traction control down to 0 as we get a really bad start. We started about a second too late, but so did everybody else, it looks like, as we are on the inside of position number 1, heading into turn number 1. Going side by side with the leader here. Can we make the overtake as we come out of turn number 1? We have the preferred line as we're heading into the chicane for the very first time. Able to outbrake him here as we make a desperate lunge right here. We're able to take first place as we get the best start that we can for the race, as we are now trying to pull away from second place as he gets really wobbly coming out of the chicane. And we're able to hold off our first place here as we are now starting to increase the gap to 9/10 of a second, up to a second here as we head into the hairpin for the very first time. Braking right before the 100-meter board. We're trying to clip our apex as best as we can, and luckily we do here as we look in the rearview mirror, and that is a beautiful sight to see right there, as we have a huge gap away from second place. But not only that, third place is all over the rear of second place, so hopefully we can hold our lead for the entirety of the race now. But unfortunately, going on to lap number 2, you can see on the rearview mirror, second place is now starting to catch up to us as he has closed the gap from about a second to half a second to us, as we now head into the S's for the second time. Going into the S's here, we're just trying to see if we can hit our markers, make sure that we don't make any huge mistakes, as we missed a little bit of the apex right there, but didn't cost us too much here, as second place is still all over our rear view mirror. Just trying to focus on hitting our lines, staying away from the grass, and staying away from looking that rear view mirror. Can we try to pull away from second place here as we now head into the straight, leading us into the final 2 corners? Going down the straight, second place is close enough to get into the slipstream, but we're just trying to break the toe as we stay onto the inside, go all the way to the right hand side to get a good entrance and a good exit out of these 2 left-handers. We're able to do so here as we go just a little bit wide. Doesn't hurt us too much, but second place is going to benefit from the toe here as we head down the straight, heading into lap number 3, crossing the start finish line. Second place is now all of our rear bumper as he decides to stay right behind us. Luckily he didn't try to make an overtake onto the inside. playing it very safe from him because all this fighting, all that's going to do is just invite third place and the rest of the pack to catch up to us. So really smart strategy from the second place driver to just follow me here, as again, if we were just started to race and start battling with each other, it's just going to invite more cars and just easily involve a lot of cars to fight with us. That can cause anything from like an accident to a certain incident that we just want to avoid here. But coming out of the chicane here, we do not get the best exit as we are now on lap number 4. Second place gets a really good exit compared to us as we're defending our inside here, going into the hairpin. Staying onto the inside, he actually takes a little peek as he puts his nose right there, and unfortunately we have to give him the spot as we are going to try to give him the spot going into the hairpin. Make a cut back here as we get tapped from third place. We lose the momentum coming out of the corner as we are not able to succeed on the cutback because of the move from third place driver, and we blink at him in frustration just a little bit because again, we were just trying to make the cutback and stuck his nose right there. So a little bit frustrated about that, but we have to just continue moving on forward and try to catch up to the first place driver. Not let him get too big of a gap here, because if he does do that, we are going to be unable to get into the slipstream and stay with him now as we are heading down the straight for the 4th time. So jumping up into lap number 6, nothing really happened here as we were just following first place, but you can see now that his gap is starting to become a lot bigger as he's now increased to about 0.7 of a second. Heading into the chicane, we're just abusing the curves here as we are corner cutting like there's no tomorrow. And fortunately, we were able to get a really good corner here and get a great exit, but the bad thing is that third place was also able to get a great chicane here as he's now all over our rear bumper once again. We're going to defend the inside. He decides to go to the outside here as we go into the hairpin. Side by side as we head into the hairpin, we're defending the inside. Can we hold him off as we try to pinch him out on the exit? But unfortunately, he's able to get better traction than us, and we're now going side by side into the S's, which is not good here because onto the slow right-hander, the inside would always prevail as we just let him go through. Don't want to race him too much because you can see right now that 4th place is all over our rear bumper. Now he caught up to us, but coming out of the left-hander, second place gets a really bad exit. We decided to go to the outside, but that was a costly mistake because all that's going to do is just allow second place to make the overtake, and that invites third place to just go in right there too. He makes the overtake on us as we try to sneak our way onto the inside, defend our position from 5th place, but he is also able to get a really great exit as we are now going to shift it onto the inside as we head into the 2 left-handers. We make a daring move onto the inside. 4th place misses his braking point, and we're able to retake 4th place away from the eBay car and focus our sights now on the podium as 1st place is now starting to run away with it because of all this battling. So hopping into lap number 7 now, we have the eBay car all over our rear bumper. Once again, she's abusing the slipstream. Decides to stay right behind us, decides not to go onto the inside and try to make the overtake. So we're able to just hold off 4th place here, build a little gap coming out of turn number 1, and see if we can build the gap even further as we head into the chicane. Going into the chicane for the 7th time here, we're staying right behind 3rd place as we go a little bit wide, but we're going to stay in the slipstream of the 3rd place driver as we head into the hairpin. In doing so, 3rd place tries to make an aggressive overtake on 2nd place. He misses his braking point, slams right into the door of the 2nd place driver. They split open as we are able to just go through the inside, and we are now in 3rd place here as we were able to capitalize on that huge mistake from the 3rd place driver, and we are now setting our sights on 2nd place. So the luck finally going on our side here as 3rd place made an aggressive, desperate lunge on 2nd place. We're able to now be all over the rear bumper of the 2nd place driver as we head into the 4 right-handers. Can we capitalize on this opportunity here as we are just trying to stay with him here, staying on the slipstream, and see if we can make an overtake going into these final couple of corners or make an overtake on the next lap. So staying on the slipstream here as we head into the final 2 corners. We're braking right before the 100-meter board. We're just staying right behind him, taking everything very smoothly so we don't make any mistakes here. But as we now jump into lap number 9, you can see we were unable to keep up with the pace as 2nd place was able to just run away with it. But we are going to see if we can push the car as much as we can on these final two laps and see if we can shrink in the gap, catch up to 2nd place, and hopefully we can get the 2nd place away from the green car ahead of us. So going into the S's once again, we clip our apexes very, very well as 2nd place goes very wide. off of that left-hander, and we're able to build a little gap from 4th place. But not only that, we're able to cut down the gap on 2nd place here as we're heading to the 4 right-handers. Going into off of the 4 right-handers, we're able to shrink the gap from 1 second all the way down to about 0.5 of a second, as we are now in the slipstream of 2nd place. This is going to benefit us hugely here as we're going to go into the final 2 corners and see if we can catch up to him before the first corner, as we brake very, very late. Coming out of the final 2 corners, we get onto the throttle a little too early as we just overly aggressively get back onto the throttle, go very wide, go straight into the grass, and look at how much time that costs us now as we defend our position onto the inside. 4th place is able to go onto the outside. He gets a rocket of a launch coming out of that final corner, and now he is able to easily overtake us before we head into the first corner. So this is very, very bad on us because we just went too far wide on the final corner, and that invited the 4th place driver to make an easy overtake on us down the straight. So 1 lap here to secure a podium as we are staying right behind the 3rd place driver. 2nd place is now starting to run away with this, so we just have to set our sights on 3rd place, see if we can make an opportunity to make an overtake now as we're staying on the slipstream. Shifting onto the inside, he decides to defend the inside. We go to the outside, brake as late as we can, but the 3rd place driver brakes way too late, and we're trying to make a cutback now as we get a really good exit here, but he gets a better exit, gets way better on the traction, and now we have to let him go through as we head into the S's. Single file as we go into the S's. 2nd place is kicking up a little bit of dirt as 3rd place gets a really bad left-hander here. We clip our apex, but he goes very wide, goes into the sand, and we are now catching up to him as he defends the inside. We decide to go to the outside, but that was a costly mistake as we missed our braking point, head straight into the wall, try to get back onto the track as 5th place makes contact with us, and now we are getting pressured by the 5th place driver as we head into the final 2 corners. Can we hold off our 4th place position as the podium now is out of reach as we head into the 2 left-handers? Staying on the inside, braking as late as we can before the 100-meter board. We're able to do so here as we're going side by side off the final corner. Can we hold him here? But unfortunately, 5th place is able to gain the traction better than us, get a really good exit, and he is going to finish this race in 4th place as we're going to finish this race in 5th place after competing for the win in the beginning stages of the race. We lose the win, we lose the podium, and we end up finishing in 5th place. So a very terrible race on my end. I was just way too aggressive with some of my moves and just I guess not patient enough, and just made too many mistakes, slowed down way too much, and this was the result right here, as we should have been able to at least battle for a 2nd place position since we were battling with him right before the final lap. But again, just made a costly mistake, and this was the result here as we are now demoted back into 5th place. So hopefully I can start learning from my mistakes and finish these races a lot better, as I just feel like I could easily be getting podiums or winning these races, but again, I just make too many mistakes, push the car way too much, just make a lot of overly aggressive moves I don't need to do, and again, this is just a result that happens. But we're going to try to come back on the next FIA race here, as if you guys really enjoyed the video, please subscribe and leave a like on the video, as it really helps out the channel when you guys do so. And if you guys found this video very entertaining, I hope to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.